Hey, hey, it is Saturday. Welcome back for another edition of Soulful Saturday Conversations. As always, I'm excited to be here with you all, sharing my community with you. Today's Uncut Gem is Crystal McHardy. And Crystal, here we are. I see you on here, Crystal. So we're going to try it again. Hey, Marcus, I see you there. Invite you to join. Let's see. Is founder and owner of Homemade Healing. And yes, there you go. I
All
see you
right.
next. Technology, technology.
I didn't realize the computer thing is different. So,
It
yeah.
is. And each week, so don't feel bad because every week I learn something different. Like, okay, I forgot to tell you that you need to be on a mobile device. So I am so sorry that I didn't tell you that. That's my bad. So in the future, yeah, you need to be on a mobile device if you're going to join someone's live. So welcome, Crystal. You're here. So good to see you. Beautiful as
Thank you.
always. I'm sorry we weren't able to physically get together and be connected in person, but I just wanted to share a little bit about you with our audience here.
Mhm.
I call you an uncut gem, like our community members. I mean, I just think, I'm blessed and privileged to know so many beautiful people. I don't ask everybody to join my lives, by the way, so you should know I think very highly of you that you are here. Hey, Jerry. And I wanted to bring you on. I know you're not like this is not your jam. I know you're not a social media like you're not on here. And so first of all, I want to say I appreciate you stepping out of your comfort zone because I know I'm pushing you out of your comfort zone, asking you to be on here. So
Ah,
I appreciate
you're
that.
like kicking me out of my comfort zone, but it's welcome. I appreciate it.
That's good. Because the world, you know what? I believe, Crystal, the world needs to know who you are. People need to see you and know.
Mhm.
I just think you have so much talent. You have such a good heart. You're just a beautiful soul. And right now, as we're living through this pandemic, this is the way that we are able to connect with people. So if you stay in your corner and hide and don't let people know who you are, they're not going to be able to experience all the wonderfulness that I get to experience because
Mhm.
I have the privilege and honor of practicing with you. We have our daily practice together. We've done some training together.
Mhm.
I've known you for several years now. We've camped. Our families have gone camping on the beach together. So I want to tell people who you are, and then because there's so much about you, and I know like I try to do this in 30 minutes and it can be a
Yeah.
little challenging, but I'll try to just share a little bit. So Crystal is a world traveler, a
Mhm.
mom, a wife, gifted. She's an educator. She's a yogi, business owner. What else? Creative. I'm trying to think of all the things I know about you. She probably got some things I don't know about her, but I'm telling all the good stuff. But she is founder and owner of a company called Homemade Healing.
Mhm.
And also, the other thing that's super exciting, I'm so proud of her about, is she and her husband are building a community in Belize known as Sans Souci. And I'm going to let now Crystal just start with. So I have some questions, but I'm just going to let you
Okay.
start with just sharing um, what you want people to know about you, and in no special order. Just share who you are, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. So, I guess when I think about uh, when I encounter people as we depart, what I hope that comes across is the fact that I am, loving life and living life and um, trying to live in a way that I am a benefit to the people that I love and the people that I come in contact with, and also um, move in a way in which just reinforces, I'd say, ideas of community that um, that I feel like I had growing up that no longer exists, like the way that life has shifted, and try to create that the benefit of that in our current setting. So I truly believe that every encounter is divine, And it is for us to make sense and to be grateful of each and every one, regardless of the lesson that's being taught, and just connect, thinking of it as a sacred thread that that we connect to each other to help us through this journey called life. I truly believe that in my heart of hearts, that every interaction is an opportunity. And I want to capitalize on that. And one being, I've been, in yoga. I always look at my oldest kid because I started a few years before she was born, and she'll be 22 this year. So I've been in this a while, and I grew up in a very religious sort of Pentecostal background, and I have found my way through this practice. A lot of it, of the yoga practice, is characteristic of the things I learned being in this sort of close-knit religious community that provided a lot of support. But the way that I connect back to that and those lessons and teachings has been through the practice of yoga. I truly believe that it is responsible for me having the state of mind and being in the place that I am, which I feel is a really good place to be right now. So lots of things going on, always have been. My mother-in-law always says I have a hot foot, which means in a Trini term is that I'm always on the go. And as I look back as a kid, I was always on the go as well. Traveling very early on my own, figuring out, going through college, just making my way. And I continue to do that now in this venue. So with the yoga and the Reiki and the Belize and all those things mixed in, the Belize project came about as a result of marrying a Trinidadian man who is incredibly talented and extremely complex. And
I love that description. Extremely complex. I love it. Yes.
But just a genius in creativity and his ability to create things. And when I married him, I was super excited about the idea of moving back to Trinidad. And we did that very early on. And unfortunately, well, I would say fortunately, our road came back to the States. But we always missed that lifestyle that we had for the time that we were there and wanting to recreate that. So Belize came about as our second chance of creating that sort of holistic, environmental friendly lifestyle, very simple but beautiful, of recreating that in a place that we felt like it was possible for this time. And I remember when we moved to Trinidad thinking, it was very early on in our relationship and with the kids coming and things like that, but really missing out on that community because most of his family had already moved to the States. And we were in Tobago and he's from Trinidad, and there's a difference. And I remember missing, like being very keenly aware of that sense of community that I felt that I did not have. So when we thought about Belize, we thought about, hey, let's do this again and revisit that lifestyle. But let's figure out if anybody else wants to join us. And we had no idea what the interest would be. And we started back in 2012. And we're at this place now that we have this viable community that's being created, and we're moving forward and expanding and creating other opportunities there as well. And just trying to create a plan B.
Yes, so I'm curious, why Belize? Let everybody know why that particular country.
Oh, the short answer is it feels like home. I've traveled a lot, and there are a few places that, to me, that overwhelmingly I feel at peace there. And Belize is one of them, and Cuba is the other. The long answer is there are lots of great reasons why. I mean, it's a quick trip from the U.S. If you have to drive, you can get there if you need
Mm-hmm.
to. Um, we blend in. It's underpopulated, so the potential is enormous with what you can create.
Mm-hmm.
The cost of living is, it's not extremely like low, like in some places in third world countries, but um, it's definitely, manageable, that you can create a life for yourself there. The people are beautiful. It's extremely diverse. The food is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And, there are lots of perks with the connection between the US and that you get to benefit from.
Yeah.
Um, so the potential, what we are trying to create or are creating, not, doesn't necessarily exist there as yet. There are
Mm-hmm.
communities of others that have found Belize to be a place for them and are thriving there.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no reason
Mm-hmm.
why we shouldn't partake. But that's kind of the long answer
Okay.
as to why Belize.
So we have a comment here.
Yep.
Oh, this is from Desiree. Hey, ladies, I'm interested in learning more about what you're doing in Belize. Oh, she has to go to another appointment. So yes, so Crystal, you'll definitely share. And I know you guys have a YouTube channel. So if
Yeah, well, the YouTube
people,
channel is attached to my YouTube channel, but what I would say is that we just created a Facebook group called Sans Souci Belize, SANS um, SOUCI and Belize, and you can find me there and send us a message if you're interested in learning more. It's where we post some of the development that's happening, information about getting in and out of the country. We post the videos there that I create. So, or you can email me or text me through IG at Homemade Healing. Either way, I can connect you.
right,
But those are the two easiest ways.
wait.
Hmm.
Okay, awesome. Okay, beautiful. So we'll repeat that, reiterate that information
And I'll
again.
type it in the chat. I think I can type.
Yeah, you could type it.
It's
I
here.
still haven't learned how to pin comments, but you can put it in that add the comment field there, and then we can scroll back so people can see it too if it runs up. I wanted to also ask you because I know also that you are a Reiki master,
Hmm.
and that was one thing that I did not say about you, and just would love for you to share because lots of people have, when people ask me, like, do you know anybody that practices Reiki or that does Reiki healing? I always refer to
Hmm.
you. So just a little bit about, in addition to yoga, you also are
Hmm.
a Reiki master. So just share a little bit about that.
Yes. A few years ago, I decided to move forward in something that I've been thinking about for a really long time. I've always been into natural healing, and I learned lots of things from one of my aunts and just some elders in my own family. Going through it. My kids would like, comment because I've told them unless you're like bleeding out and unconscious, we are not going to the doctor. Like I can fix it, okay?
They got to be bleeding out. Oh my
Bleeding
God.
out and unconscious, okay? They know.
Okay.
But in my defense, I was, bio pre-med, and I also have my best friend who's who's a family
So
practitioner.
you're knowledgeable
So
and
I'm, yeah,
you have resources.
I'm
Yes.
able to connect and get what
Okay.
I need
Yeah.
if I can't carry them through. But
Mhm.
so I've always sort of been into our bodies, or just the gift of the natural healing. So I decided to move forward with it. I feel like throughout countless times as a child, growing up with my mom and her being in the Pentecostal religion and having these experiences where I can very clear now that I look back were evidence of that ability to heal. And I liked the way that it was detached from any sort of religious constraints to a certain extent,
Mhm.
and that is accessible to all. So I decided to move forward in that. I just felt called to learn more specifically about it and begin to practice it. And it's something that I continuously utilize on myself and people in my family. And I do Reiki sessions. It's not something that I've actively gone out and pursued, but if people ask, I will definitely, consider doing sessions. but I'm more interested in getting to a point where I can train
Okay.
people who are interested, because
Yeah.
I do feel like it is, with anything, the more access that we can create, the better that we can heal as a community of folks.
Yeah.
So that is the direction that I'm going to lean towards. Um, so yeah, and
Okay.
I'm also adding in the sound bowls and the sound healing, because I feel like
Yes.
it
As
runs
part
in
of your,
the same vein. Hmm.
yes, as part of your repertoire.
Yeah.
So I imagine that you are going to have these offerings in Belize.
Yes. So the second piece of CNCC, as we begin to start thinking about the community, is, if people want to come at a stage where they want to invest and create commercial opportunities, what can we do to support that? So in addition to the residential piece, we are working on the development of commercial, and included in that is a retreat that we are going to build, a wellness retreat that we envision offering lots of things to lots of groups of people, not necessarily just all like yoga and Reiki and natural healing and things like that, but to be a hub for wellness. So that's something that we are adding in as well, and that I've been working on. So,
Very
mhm.
good. So
Yep.
what things do you have going on? I mean, I know you said that, you will do sessions for people. Are you doing offering any other types of trainings? Do you work with clients one-on-one? How are you utilizing your skills? I know you have a 9 to 5, right? In addition to all the other hats you wear, you have a 9 to 5. I
Yes.
neglected to mention that.
Yes.
So I'm just, just in the way. And then we didn't even get like the next thing is the in between that, the elderberry. So
Mhm.
um
Yeah.
I'm just curious, like if you have anything that you want to share with people now that you're doing, or if people want to schedule privates with you, or what you're looking at in that way.
I would say I'm definitely moving towards. I mean, COVID has also kind of thrown a wrench into a lot of things as well, as
Yeah.
far as being able. So I'm kind of relying on the weather to get better, to
Yeah.
continue to offer Reiki sessions, but in a setting where I would feel comfortable, as well as any future clients. So I'm leaning towards offering one-on-one Reiki sessions more towards after April,
Yeah.
warm up. And as far as trainings, the idea is hopefully to have the Reiki trainings up and moving forward with that before the end of the year. And
Hmm.
yes, so that's, I'm all fitting that in with my regular 9 to 5, which is what I do is I am a curriculum specialist for an international educational company. So I support science instruction throughout the US network. And with all the changes to education, because of the predicament that we're in with COVID, we've shifted to a completely online platform to support schools as they work with their new norm of hybrid kids in school, closing schools, and things like that. So I've been pretty consumed with supporting teachers in that, and give a
Mm.
shout out to teachers because it's a struggle. I feel for them. So I'm really passionate about ensuring that there is quality science education in the schools that I support.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, shout out
mhm,
to teachers, educators, anyone involved in the education of children, our
mhm,
children, and just children in general. I think teachers, it's in my, this is just sidebar, but I really strongly believe that teachers are not valued as they
mhm,
should be, particularly here in this country, right? Like,
mhm,
I'm a home educator. I've homeschooled my children for many years.
mhm,
And one of the reasons why, I mean, there were a couple of reasons why we obviously we ultimately made that decision. But one of the reasons was that I did not, at least the situation we were in, I'm careful not to sort of
mhm,
blanket any situation or teachers in general, but in our situation and what we were dealing with, because the teachers were so strapped for resources, they couldn't, and I felt like they could not give my son what he needed. right? Because he,
Yeah.
they were like, the answer was just give him medication. And I was like, well, no, no, that's not going to happen, right? So if I need to teach him myself, at least I'm able to give him this one-on-one attention. And I know
Mhm.
that, I believe in my heart that teachers do the best they can, but they just don't have enough. And
Mhm.
now we have COVID, and it's really just really testing the um the boundaries. I mean, it's pushing
Mhm.
the boundaries like unbelievably. So I just love and shout out to our teachers and educators, because we
Yeah.
see you, we know that you are doing your best. So please continue, and we hold you in love and light.
Mhm.
So now I want to, because our time is coming down near, like this, like I get into these conversations and like, I want to just, right? Because I want to have, like, these are conversations that we have, but, I want to just expose our sort of conversations and just kind of open the door a little bit about, into your life and the people that I get to talk to. But tell us a little bit about the elderberry, because I think elderberry too right now is just one of these things
Mhm.
that, it's something that I use in my own product of kombucha
Mhm.
for our moon goddess. And it is something that you have used long time to make
Mhm.
tinctures, right? People
Yeah.
buy elderberry pills, and you can go
Mhm.
on CVS now and get elderberry
Yep.
syrup and all these things. And like, when I think of elderberry, I think about you, of
Yeah.
course. And so I just want you to share a little bit about what's happening in the space of elderberry.
So yeah, it's very interesting to see it everywhere now because I've been using it probably for the last 15 years or so. And
Mm,
the reason I started is because of my job as an educator and a curriculum specialist of going in and out of schools across the nation, being on planes every week, and having 3 kids of my own in and out of their own schools. So I researched it and I've been using it forever, creating tonics for the kids, tinctures for myself to carry as I travel. And so I started because I was aware of one particular brand before I started to make mine and just continued to use it. And then I looked at the ingredients and then I'm thinking about the amount that I was receiving and having a large family. I just felt like, you know what? I'm sure I can make my own. And that's kind of how it started. And then I just started to make it and I'll make batches and I would give to people. And it kind of started from there. And I think there was an event that you had that kind of pushed me out. And someone was like, you need to really start selling this. And I'm like, hmm. So that's how it started.
yeah. It seems like I have a pattern of kicking you out, pushing you out of your
Right.
comfort zone.
Exactly.
That's
So,
cool. Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, I really love the product that I have. I'm sure there's lots of products out there now. I mean, mine is completely organic and I have other herbs and things and blends that I combine with it that I've been very pleased with it. And literally, I know I am a fan of the elderberry. Like, I believe in it, like, as a go to because I am living proof. I mean, this my travel schedule and work schedule and schedule with my kids, I cannot even remember the last time that I've had any cold or flu or any for years. And
Right.
I continuously keep it as one of those things in my fridge and in my cabinet and in my purse. And it's my hope that everyone will, who can tolerate it feels has it as a go-to, and it's in every cabinet and in every
Yeah.
refrigerator because I know it has worked for me. um,
And, and you do also the DIY kits. Is that
Right.
correct?
So on my
Right.
website, I have you can, it comes in a couple different forms. I do the DIY kit just for the same reason that I started doing it
Mhm.
myself to make sure that people had access at a price that they could,
Absolutely.
that it was feasible. So you're
Yeah.
able to make a lot more by putting
Yeah.
a little bit of work in, but it's super simple, but it comes with all the ingredients that you need. And you can find it at my website at
Yeah.
homemadehealing.net,
Hmm.
in addition to the tinctures that I create there, and a few other things that I have. Like, I'm a huge fan of rose water. I traveled to the Middle East, and Lebanon is their rose water is just unbelievably the bomb. So I use it for
I've
skincare.
had some. I've had
Yeah,
some.
it's
Yeah.
it's just one of those things that it's just like, I gotta get some of this. So every time I travel, I stock up and
Yeah.
I visit places here where I can get it that deal in the Middle East trade, and
Yeah.
so I also have that on my website as well.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so we are at time. I don't want to keep you too much outside of your comfort zone. I know at some point you're gonna be like, okay, girl, I'm done. so, so so I just want to just recap that people can connect with you on homemadehealing.net,
Yep.
and then can find you on Facebook regarding Belize, in the Facebook group Sans Souci, or
Hmm.
even look up your name, Crystal McHardy, and find you there, or just message me if you can't find her. I'll put you on to her. But I want to say thank you for being willing. And also, I just want to leave this note too, um, because our outdoor yoga sessions that we held in the fall, right? We want
Yep.
to do that again, and we definitely want to have you out here and you know offer up the space for Reiki if that's something
Hmm.
that you want to do. But we were able to have a session here, so we can go ahead and
Hmm.
continue with that, especially, as the weather warms up. So just in regards to your last comment about the weather. So just want to let you know, I got you. I'm pushing you further, right? I got a
Yeah.
couple other things. I got a couple other things in mind for you.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be great if we could have the Reiki share sessions on
Yes.
your property because, I think it's just the perfect setting for that
Yeah.
and for
Yeah.
people to experience Reiki shares.
Yeah.
Um, and I
Yeah.
think that, yeah, that's something
Yeah.
we can add to the list and get
Definitely.
it rocking
Definitely.
for April or May.
Yeah. Okay, sis. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'll call you later. But
Right.
thank you so much. We will definitely connect. I hope that you enjoyed being in this moment. That it was not terribly uncomfortable. That you actually really did enjoy it. So I know everybody
Yeah.
listening did. I know everybody who tuned in definitely enjoyed hearing from you. So thank you for taking time for sharing, and thank everyone for joining us for another session, another episode of Soulful Saturday Conversations. This will be posted up on our YouTube channel, and we look forward to seeing you again next Saturday at 4. Peace and
All
blessings.
right.
All right.
Blessings.
Bye bye.
Bye.